It has been said that in order to prepare for the future, you need to take a long, hard look at the past. And this seems to be true. Avoiding future problems can often be solved by learning from yesterday. So just for fun today, let's travel back in time and relive yesteryear. Let's take a stroll down memory lane to the year I was born, 1971. See if any of these things ring a bell. These are all things that took place in 1971. Richard Nixon was the President of the United States. The 26th Amendment was ratified, lowering the U.S. voting age from 21 to 18. How about this one? Cigarette advertisements were banned on television. The very first commercial video game was released. The fight of the century between Muhammad Ali and Walt Frazier took place. This will be a favorite for many of you. Walt Disney World opened in Orlando, Florida on October the 1st, opening the door to theme parks and family entertainment. President Nixon announced a 90-day wage and price freeze to try to combat inflation. Richard Petty became the first NASCAR driver to win $1 million in career earnings. How about television? All in the Family debuted on CBS and included the first toilet flush that was ever shown on TV. And The Ed Sullivan Show aired its final episode after 23 years on television. The longest football game in NFL history occurred on Christmas Day in 1971 during the AFC divisional playoff between the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. The game lasted a total of 7 hours and 8 minutes, with actual playing time amounting to 82 minutes and 40 seconds. It ended 7 minutes and 40 seconds into the sixth quarter, resulting in a 27-20 victory for the Dolphins. And in 1971, the NASDAQ stock market index opened for the very first time on February the 8th. Now, here are some other facts you might find interesting. In 1971, the world's population was approximately 3.78 billion people. The cost of a new home was approximately $28,300. The cost of a new car was $3,742. The median household income was $9,028. The cost of a first-class stamp was 6 cents. Cost of a gallon of regular gas, 36 cents. Cost of a dozen eggs, 53 cents. Cost of a gallon of milk, $1.18. And the cost of a hamburger at McDonald's, 20 cents. To retire in 1971, you would have needed about $65,000, which was roughly 10 times the national average wage for that year. This is based on the common retirement guideline of needing 10 to 12 times your annual retirement income saved in order to maintain your standard of living. Now, how many of you would like to go back in time to live in the 1970s? Maybe not for the clothes, the haircuts, or the technology, but maybe for the prices. Life was definitely much simpler back then. I remember it very clearly. I would leave my house each summer day just after daylight and stay gone until lunch. Then I would go back out and stay gone until supper time. My days were filled with fishing, building forts, wandering through the woods, and exploring everything under the sun. At some point in every single day, I would ride my bike on the trails to the local quickie, which we called the gas station, so I could spend my quarter on Jolly Ranchers or a sucker. I would then ride my bike to the local pool to swim for hours, and as long as I made it back by supper, or in the worst case, dark, all was well in the world of Fort Smith, Arkansas. I don't remember ever turning on a television. There was no such thing as a computer, and I didn't even know what a cell phone was, because they didn't exist. You could actually trust other people, and life was beautiful. My, how things have changed over the years. If you've watched our videos before, you know I will often say this from my good friend Ed Slott. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep after paying your taxes that counts. So here's one fact that I left out about 1971. Do you know what the highest federal tax rate was in 1971? In light of all the really cheap prices I rattled off just a couple of minutes ago, you might think they were relatively low. But that wouldn't be correct. In 1971, the year I was born, the highest federal tax rate was 70%. Now, if you don't believe me, just take a look at this chart that shows the history of tax rates in the United States dating all the way back to 1913. Compared to the previous 30 years, the 70% tax rate in 1971 was a pretty good deal because the highest federal tax rate in our nation's history was actually 94%. Back in 1944, the year my father was born. So before you think you would like to return to the life and the prices of 1971, you need to think about the number one thing that will separate you from the retirement of your dreams. and that's taxes. My name is Brad Pistole, and I'm a tax planning certified professional. My number one purpose is to help clients keep their hard-earned money safe and in their own pocket, out of the pocket of Uncle Sam. If you would like to see what my team and I would do to help you beat the tax man, just visit our website at ozarksretirement.com. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.